All right, welcome in everyone to episode 13 of Related to the Game. As always, Ben Eitenbrook, joined by my brother-in-law, Prasanka Notek, here to give you all the hottest takes on all the sports going on. Prasan, my friend, how are you doing?
All things considered, I'm doing all right. We've got it's been a pretty brutal week for me in the sports world, but all things considered, we're doing all right.
Yeah, I see the shirt you're wearing and is a sneak peek at some of your pain, but we'll get to that in a little while.
Yeah,
Um, first, let's wrap up the NBA finals here. So the Knicks get it done. Um, you know, there's been a lot of polarizing opinions about this team. Um, I guess what are your thoughts as the series wrapped up?
I feel bad for the Spurs because they, as we kind of talked about last time, lost the series. I think for themselves. I don't know that it was so much the Knicks beat them. Like the Knicks won. It's they won the championship, but the Spurs had almost every game in their possession that they could have won. They should have won. They were playing well, and they just fell apart at the end. Now, credit the Knicks. That's partly on them, and they played better towards the end, and they had a couple of really good comebacks. So, credit there. But I feel like the Spurs are a team that they will be back. It feels like, and I'll talk about winning when you get to the championship in a little bit, but um, I don't know. It just feels like one of those that could have gone a different way, and I don't know if I like the way it went, or good for the state of New York, good for basketball and for the Knicks fans, but I think I was partially rooting for the Spurs without maybe knowing it, and it just hurts to watch them just like choke every game away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I guess I've heard I kind of mentioned the polarizing opinions.
Mm,
I've heard some people bringing up the stats just like of how generational of a run the Knicks went on
sure.
after
Yeah.
being down 2-1 to the Hawks and not losing again until they lost one game in the finals and that was it. Just like crushing teams, cruising through everyone and just dominant performance. And then on the other hand, you see kind of the cupcake schedule argument that we kind of talked about with the Patriots last football season, where the East was weak to begin with and they um Embiid was hurt against the Sixers. The Cavs were arguably one of the weaker Eastern Conference Finals teams we've seen lately. And then, I guess the Spurs, the argument there is that they're just too young. That's such an
Sure. Yeah.
inexperienced and
Hmm.
young team that they're not matured to the level that the Knicks are with all the experience and accolades they have on for the players on their team. So I kind of go back and forth on it, where I think kind of both can be true that the Knicks did go on a dominant run, but also the path that was in front of them was one of the easier ones we've seen lately.
You know what though? I mean, whenever you are in a professional sports league, especially in basketball, like any given team can beat you any given day. Um, it's hard to win the championships. It's hard to win the championships regardless of who you're playing. These are all professional athletes. They all, are good teams when you get to the playoffs. It's hard. I mean, and to go on the run that they did, whether you're saying like, oh, there were injuries or cupcake schedule for whatever reason, or how they got there, it's hard to win championships, and never apologize for winning, and I think there's something to be said about that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I think anytime, no matter what league you're in professional sports, if you're winning a championship, you need some lucky things to go your way. And
Yeah, for
sometimes that
sure.
could be, it could be, you could argue, easier teams in front of you, or in other instances, you think of what the Pacers had in the finals a couple years ago when they had a couple insane shots bounce their way. The luck comes in all different kinds of forms.
Sure. Yeah.
And to even make a finals, much less win it, you need some luck to go your way, and that's in every sport. To win a Super Bowl, you got to get some lucky bounces along the way, and yeah, all the other sports too. So yeah, impressive. The championship parade, the clips from that were pretty insane.
I saw, and I'm on a lot of, because of the Giants, I'm on a lot of New York Twitter or X or whatever you call it. And I saw that like 3.5 hours before the parade, they're like bins or however you want to call the roping off the roped
The
off
viewing
areas where
area.
the viewing area, yeah, the roped off viewing area, they were full. They stopped letting people in. There's some Giants fans I'm follow on there that were saying they were like on the way to the parade when they were getting notifications like, hey, like we're not letting anybody else in. If people that are in the viewing section leave to go to the bathroom or whatever, like they're not getting back in, and that's your only shot at like getting a spot in there. So yeah, I mean it was crazy. When I heard that and saw about that, it just made me think a little bit more. Can you imagine a parade in New York City? Like obviously
Yeah.
like on a normal day. I mean, you have like Thanksgiving parade, things like that, a little different, people are off that day and whatever, but like a normal day when majority of the city is still going to work and you're like throwing a parade going through downtown New York, like that's insane to think about.
Yeah, it's a disaster when it comes to trying to coordinate all that and not have it ruin, just like shut down the city for the entire day basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's yeah, I there's just a lot. I also saw a lot of videos and stuff from it. It looked cool. It looked like they were partying all day down there, which yeah, you just are thinking about like the streets were closed for how long, and people are trying to maneuver and drive around down there and get to work and all that kind of stuff.
Mhm. But yeah, so Knicks get it done, wrap that up. I got a couple other NBA related notes. Where do you want to go first? I'm guessing you have a couple as well.
Oh, I have plenty. You can go ahead and pick what you want. I'm sure I'll have thoughts.
Um, we'll save the Giannis trade for now, and
Okay.
we'll go to a new head coach hiring in the NBA that you are probably aware of. A
Yeah.
college coach coming off a national championship. That would be Dusty May of the Michigan Wolverines going to the Mavs. How does that feel as a Michigan fan?
I mean, it doesn't feel good. You know, I love Dusty May. I hope nothing but the best for him. The problem I have with the trade or with the head coach signing is he was very open early right after the championship and into kind of the off season, if you will, that he was staying, that he was going to stay and be the head coach and was looking forward to next year. We had players commit that they were not going to go to the draft. Trey McKinney and Elliot Cadeau, both of them could have gone to the draft and chose to stay another year. They had transfers come in and were ready to kind of run it back this year. And then to all of a sudden flip and go to the NBA. Part of that for me is kind of thinking about like, okay, did you know this a long time ago? Did this come? You could not. It's almost impossible for this to have just like, hey, this came up like a couple days ago. Like
Yeah.
very unlikely. So did you know this? You could have like said something ahead of time, given people some opportunity. And heads up and things like that. My worry with it was, were we going to lose a bunch of players now that he was gone? And it sounds like we're not. At least that's what they've said so far. A couple people doubled back down. Cadeau and McKinney both doubled down of like, hey, we're staying. So that feels good. I think they did a good job with the interim hire. The interim hire that they have was on the team, on the coaching staff, and he essentially a lot of the thought process behind that was, hey, we're kind of late here into the recruiting cycle and things like that. Let's try to keep the team together. This guy knows the playbook, the offense, knows the players, things like that, and hopefully can salvage a little bit there. So I'm happy with that. Obviously, they're going to look for a full time replacement at some point. We'll see what that looks like. Greg Gard is in the conversation. Don't love that.
Yeah.
Don't love that. But yeah, I mean, happy for Dusty. I think I've seen a couple stories this week that were. One thing said that he was like tired of like the college process and recruiting and things like that, which is interesting to me because he was so good at it and it seemed like it was something he liked, but there's that thought to it. Another thought, and kind of what I originally just assumed, is kind of next step. You won the championship, like NBA is the next level, and you know, see what you can do there. So we'll see what it is. I'll root for him. Morris Johnson's there now after the draft, so he'll be reunited with one of the player and
cool.
coach reunited. So that'll be cool. But yeah, nothing but the best for him. But it sucks. Not pleased.
Yeah. Yeah. It just seems like that's a motif in college sports right now, is if you have anything good, it's going away soon. You think of the transfer portal with players, but coaches too are getting poached left and right, whether it's football or basketball. So yeah, hopefully, for Michigan, hopefully they can, like you're saying, actually keep the squad together and keep the recruits that they have coming in. And is there any chance that the interim coach will get retained as the permanent head coach?
I think there is. I mean, they named him interim head coach, so we'll see, I guess, what happens. I think what they're trying to avoid here, and not like outright naming him coach, is they're trying to avoid a Sharon Moore situation and obviously take all the like drama and stuff with Sharon Moore out of this situation. Like, I don't think that's the case, but Sharon Moore was getting fired whether the allegations came out or not. Like, he was not a good head football coach. And I think that's what they're trying to avoid, is like, hey, we had somebody here on staff. Jim Harbaugh left. Sharon Moore, we're just going to throw you into the spot. I think they're trying to avoid that, of like, hey, Dusty May left. We're just going to throw this guy into the spot and see what happens. I don't think they want this to be, give themselves a way out of like, hey, we're looking for an interim head coach, or we're looking for a full-time head coach. If this interim guy like makes it, they play well, they do well next year, who knows what that looks like, but we'll have to see. Give themselves a way out. Yeah. That's a good way to put that.
Yeah.
So going back to the NBA a minute here and the finals, this is exactly why in any professional sport, college sports especially now too, if you've got a team that can win it, you've got to go do it, right? You got to go win, because there's no, oh, well, hopefully we get back again next year and, we win, like, rah, rah, like we put our best foot forward. Like, you can't do that in professional sports. The Spurs may never get back again. They probably will. People on paper, people are looking at it like, oh, they're young, like they'll get back. You can't use that as an excuse, right? Like, they're a young team. Yeah, you got it. You're there. You got to win. Because who knows what that's going to look like. If Michigan didn't win last year, personally, I believe actually Dusty may have still left. I mean, again, at the end of the day, it's all about money, and that's what it is. If the NBA offered him more money, he's going to go. Mm-hmm. And this would feel so much worse if we would have lost and not won the national championship. And so you've just got to, if you're there, you've got to go win. That's what you have got to do. You can't like, oh, well, next year it'll be better. Can't do that.
Yep. Yeah, I agree. Because, we were kind of talking about the Spurs. Like, I mean, they've got a lot more chances. They'll be back. And that's a narrative you hear all the time. Like, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
More recently, example. Like Joe Burrow. Like right when they lost, it's like, oh, they'll be back. They'll be right back in it. Haven't even sniffed it since.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like with the Spurs too, I mean, the Thunder aren't getting any worse, really, and you got past them this year. You got to take advantage of that. They Jalen Williams was hurt, and Chet Holmgren played terrible. Like, you got past them, but it's not going to be necessarily as easy to do it again.
Nope.
So, and it still took them 7 games. So yeah, you nailed it there. You gotta, and obviously everyone's saying that, and only one team can actually do it.
Sure.
But you gotta. You can't miss your shot when you're there. So
yeah, when you're there, it's a lot easier for several other teams, whether you make the playoffs or not, to say like, oh, we should like make it. Well, if you're actually there, gotta capitalize on that. Great point about the Thunder is they are not getting worse. They're continuing to get better, and you got past them. This was an opportunity. Like, who knows? Spurs may never get back, and that's the reality of it. But got to capitalize on your opportunities.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of making it to the championship once and winning it, and then not winning it again with that team, let's talk about the Bucks a little bit. And our good friend Giannis Antetokounmpo is gone to the Miami Heat. Did you see that one coming? I know it was kind of rumored down to the Heat and Celtics it was kind of like assumed that he was going to be gone before the draft. And all the rumors were, Celtics or Heat are the top two teams contending for it. Did you think it would end up being the Heat?
I did. Yeah, I mean, we all knew it was coming. We knew he was going to go. I mean, there was very, very little chance in my mind that the NBA draft would roll around and Giannis was still on the team. It just didn't feel like that was the case. I'm not gonna talk about it too much, but there's all these different stories coming out now of like, oh, did Giannis, was Giannis kind of a diva and a drama queen or whatever it was, and did was it all Doc Rivers' fault? Was it who was fault? Regardless whose fault it is, it was a fun over decade that we had. The trade, I thought, I did see coming. I thought it would be the Heat. My reasoning and thought behind that is the big piece in the Celtics trade was going to be Jaylen Brown, and I just don't think Jaylen Brown would have stayed. It wouldn't have been a long-term thing for us there, and I think that had something to do with it, or had something to play in with it. So I did see the Heat coming. I'll let you answer, and then I'll talk about it a little bit too. What do you think of the trade? What do you overall like? How was the trade? How did it shake out?
Yeah. So my take is, if you take it as a given that you're going to be trading away a top 5 player in the league,
sure.
Like, it's no matter what you get in return, it's automatically you're losing the trade, in my opinion. Like, you're giving away a top 5 player. You can't get anything back that is worth it, But given that, I think they did well with the trade overall. Like, it's a pretty good haul. I've heard rumors that they might try to flip Tyler Hero now for more picks or developmental type guys, which I wouldn't be against that either. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I can't really complain about the haul. They got some young guys that have some promise and some draft capital, and yeah, Tyler Hero, who's an all-star caliber player from Milwaukee area. Pretty cool to have him back if he does play for the Bucks. But yeah, I kind of like the idea of trading him, actually, just because I worry that with him, he's going to be just good enough to lead you into that mediocre area of where you're just stuck being like a play-in level team,
So here's the argument. So here's the argument against that. So I agree with you. Like, that's by no means are we winning the championship right now, right? Like, for sure. I like the play. I like the guys. I'll go into the guys that we got first a little bit. I really like Kel'el Ware. I really like Jamie Jaquez. I think both of them are good players. The other guy that we got, I can't pronounce his name off the top of my head, but
I heard the Heat were like really excited about him.
They were very excited about him. He is a very promising prospect there. So I'm excited about him. And then obviously the picks. We'll talk about that in a second. Tyler Hero, to that point, is you're right. Like, with him, we're going to be kind of in that middle ground of like, hey, like, probably exciting to watch basketball, like, not going to be terrible, but we're by no means going to win the championship for sure. The argument of like keeping a little bit of that with Tyler Hero is we don't have any first round picks. Like, who cares if we're bad? Who cares if we're good? It doesn't matter. We don't have first round picks for the next 3 years, I think, until like 2029. So like, who cares? I mean, we can keep that. And the argument against that is like, well, okay, if it comes to the deadline of one of these next 3 years and we need to deal Tyler Hero, fine, we can and get some picks then and whatever we need to do. But we don't own any of our own, we don't own any, let alone our own first round picks. So who cares if we're good, right? If we're in that kind
Yeah.
of mediocre time, we can be, because it's not like, oh, well, we're going to be middle of the draft. No, we're not going to be in the draft at all. So, I think there's some value there of seeing what our players are and what these guys can do. And, is Tyler Hero going to be a piece for this Bucks team? And what does that look like? Because we really don't have anything to lose. We don't have much to gain. We don't have much to lose. I guess gain, we make the playoffs and we make a run, and great, that's fun.
Yeah.
But we have nothing to lose.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Yeah, I guess why not try to win? You're not sacrificing much anyways. Yeah, I guess the only reason I guess then I could see to get rid of Hero is if the haul you can get for him gets you
Sure.
some picks in the
Yeah.
next couple years, or another up and coming player that you can kind of throw out there with the other guys from the Heat trade,
Yeah.
along with whoever else you like off the Bucks current roster, and try to get them all kind of developing together, where all of a sudden you've got a good group in 2 or 3 years of experience,
Yeah.
like players that have been playing together for a couple of years. So
Yeah, if you want to develop them and like you said, have that for a couple years, I think that's a reason behind, trade them sooner rather than later. Another thing you can do too is, like you said, for the next year or two, just kind of say, hey, like, if depending on where we're at, like, he's a good dangling piece at the trade deadline of like, hey, you need somebody, like, come get him and we'll take some picks then. Um, and kind of utilize them that way. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot of options they have there. There's a lot of choices that they can make of are we going to trade them? Are we not? We maybe talk about this again in a little bit here, but I was not super excited about LaMelo Ball. And there were conversations of the Bucks were dangling Tyler Hero out there to maybe be in part of a package for LaMelo Ball.
mm,
And I like, we don't, that does nothing for me right now. I mean, with where we're
yeah,
at. So I think hopefully they're smart about it, and feels like they at least are not, just, hey, whatever offers are out there, we'll listen to or take. So hope they're smart about it. And we got the worry I have is we have to we have to treat the capital that we got for Giannis like gold. Like, it can't be anything that we're just like, oh, I don't love taking flyers. And I'll talk about the NBA draft in a second and what we got for our pick and one of the picks we got for Giannis. But I don't love taking like flyers. Like, I want to make sure here, like, the haul we got for Giannis, we better like protect that and make sure we're doing the right thing with it.
yeah, yeah. I kind of like the idea of keep Tyler Hero around for now, and yeah, at the trade deadline this season, next season, just like dangle him out there a little bit, like, hey,
Sure.
do any of you competing teams want to add this guy? If the price is right, he's yours, and if the price isn't right, just hang on to him and
Sure.
keep him around. So yeah, I kind of like that idea. You kind of mentioned the Bucks draft picks. Do you
Hmm.
want to give your thoughts on those couple of guys?
Yeah. This might be the Michigan bias in me, but I really wanted Yaxel Lendeborg. The argument against him, and I don't disagree with the argument, is, hey, he's a little bit older, which is true. I will say, not only is he just a fun player, it's also something that I think could have brought a little bit of leadership too, even though he's a younger by year again, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Brought a little leadership, and he's played, obviously played really well, and I think could have been a good piece. That being said, the two guys we got. So we had the 10th pick in the draft that we had already, and then we had 13, which we got from the Heat as part of the Giannis trade. With the 10th pick, we took Braden Burries. He was a guard from Arizona.
Arizona.
Arizona, yep. So I didn't love the pick at first. I think overall we got a good player. I think a lot of people really like the pick, and I think the reasoning I didn't like the pick for the most part with Burries is I was worried a little bit about consistency with him. I was also worried a little bit about the defense. Does he play with good defense? Like
Mm.
we need people now that are able to hold their own out there a little bit. Those were some of the kind of things I worried about a little bit. Looking back at it, and I've looked into it a little bit more in the last couple days. I think it was a fine pick with what was there. I mean, truthfully, like non-bias aside, the only player I probably would have taken over him at that point was Yaxel. So I think overall they did the right thing there. People are excited about it. I think what it is too is it'll be a nice, like, hopefully playmaker that get the fans excited. Like that's a good thing. At 13, we took Nate Ament from the University of Tennessee. So my issue with that pick, I don't love that pick. My issue with that pick is two things. Number one, also the consistency issue. He turned it on the second half of the year at Tennessee. First half of the year was somewhat abysmal. Now, the numbers averaged out. I mean, he had good average numbers. Like, that was all fine. The problem I have, and to what I just said about our trade pieces from that we got for Giannis, the Bucks' kind of thought process going into drafting Ament was, hey, like, at times he didn't play all that well in college, but we see some promise in him, right? That's not what I wanted at pick 13, especially for one we got for, like you said, our top 5 player in the NBA. I wanted something that it was like, hey, this guy is like been good, played good, we see promise, like that's the pick we want. Not, well, he didn't always play that great, but like we think he'll be fine in the NBA. Didn't want to take a flyer. But you know what? Alexis made a good point actually of like several years ago when the Bucks drafted Giannis, was everybody happy? No, everyone was like, who in the heck is this Greek guy, right?
Yeah.
Like same sort of thing. So like, at the end of the day, it's draft picks, and hopefully he turns out like Giannis, and he turns out like obviously maybe not like Giannis, but hopefully he turns out to be something and promising, and maybe he'll grow here and it'll be a good pick for us.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of conflicted about both of them. Not that I know, not like watched them play a bunch in college, but just what I've
Sure.
read about them. With Burries, it kind of sounds like he was like a pretty safe pick, like a pretty high floor guy, but not a super high ceiling guy. Because I saw like his athletic profile is just not like elite like the guys taken before him, and I mean, he's still obviously a great athlete, but just not
Sure.
at that
Yeah.
level where like he projects to be just like this next rising star. More so like he's gonna be good right away and he's got some room to get better, but he's not necessarily ever gonna be a star. Which, it feels good to take a guy that everyone's just kind of like, yeah, he's gonna be good, So can't complain too much there. And then with Ament, I'm a little conflicted just because what I read about him is like before last season, he was kind of projected like this is going to be a top 5 guy in the lottery. And then he was just kind of overall disappointing. And now people are kind of saying like that might have been the reach of the lottery or of the first round of the draft. And you hate to be,
Yeah.
I mean, no one ever really knows, but you hate to be the team or the guy, the pick that's just like, ooh, that they reached for him or he's not as good as everyone thought he was going to be. But like you said, if they're drafting him, seeing what he can be, and if they can get the best out of him, then all of a sudden you're looking at a really good player. So, as with all draft picks, you just got to give it time, and you don't know what you got until you see them play for a couple of years, really, and see if they get better and how they fit on the team. Um, but one thing I read and was kind of shocked by, but it off my memory, it's true. Since the Bucks drafted Giannis, the best player they've drafted since then was Dante DiVincenzo 8 years ago, and they haven't drafted anyone better
Oh
than him
boy.
since.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, he's like he turned into like a solid, like, could start for you, could be like six man off the bench, like good player.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But to have that be your best pick over a span of basically a decade, you got to find a way to get some guys in here. And so my take on these two guys is you gotta before the draft even, I was just saying you gotta have one of these guys be better than Dante DiVincenzo. You got two lottery picks. You got to find a way to make one of them be like at least, I guess, maybe not better than Dante DiVincenzo, but you need one at least as good as him, and the other guy to be a contributor as well. Like,
Yeah.
to try to
These guys
jumpstart
gotta do
this kind of
something.
rebuild
Yeah.
type situation we're in here. Like, you had two lottery picks. You don't have lottery picks coming up. Like, these you got to get something out of these guys and not just have them be these guys we've taken over the last however many years that just kind of like you try to find
Flame
a role
out,
for
yeah.
them, and it's just like it hurts. It almost hurts seeing them out there because you can tell they're trying to find a way to make them work out there, and it's just not happening.
Not happening.
So hopefully they can hopefully they found the right guys here and get something out of them. And I mean, yeah, if one or two of these guys pan out, and then some of the young guys from the Heat, along with Tyler Hero and Hackes as well, if it could be a fun squad, so hopefully they can put it all together. And yeah, I guess like you said, we don't have our first round pick, so we might as well be at least decent.
Might as well try. Why not? We might as well. You know what? We might as well just make a run and go win the championship with them. But
Sure. why
yeah,
not?
you might as well be decent, right? Don't have the picks, but lost in the trade. Giannis. Everyone's like, oh, Giannis is gone. That makes sense. Thank you for everything. It's been a great ride. Lost in the trade. Bobby Portis. Bobby
Yeah.
Portis is also gone. I will
It's a bummer.
say it's a bummer because he's fun. He's fun to watch. It needed to happen. I actually was on the train of like trade Bobby Portis year and a half ago. I think that should have happened. It didn't, which is fine. But it's a loss to the city of Milwaukee. He's very involved. Both Giannis and Bobby very involved in the community, very involved in the area. So lost to the community, the city, lost to the fans, just kind of like a fun, energetic player out there, but just not a good fit anymore for the team.
Yeah.
I think that needed to happen also. So
Yeah.
lost in the trade, but for both of them, I think it was time.
Yeah. It's like a bummer from the sense like, yeah, he's just a fan favorite, but yeah,
Sure.
it made sense to move on from him too. Speaking of him going to the Heat with Giannis, do you think with everything the Heat gave to the Bucks, do you think the Heat are a top contender in the East for next season, or do you think they need to make another move or two to try to bolster the team around Bam and Giannis, basically?
I'm glad you ask. I don't think they're contenders. And here's why. My first thought process is I don't know that I love Giannis and Bam playing together. Like, I don't know that that's going to mesh very well. I could be wrong, and it'll be fun to watch and see. But I just don't see that going very well. Bam Adebayo is a very just feels like a different basketball personality than Giannis. I don't know. It's hard to describe, but the two of them just playing together doesn't feel like it's going to work as well as people might think. I don't think they're going to be like bad, but like, I don't know. I don't think that's going to work as well. My second worry is Giannis has been hurt the last couple years. And so if Giannis gets hurt, like they're cooked. They've got nobody. They've got Bam and like what else? We have the rest of their starting lineup. So
Yeah.
I don't. That is very worrisome to me. Is that number one? We're relying on a guy in Giannis that really couldn't stay healthy the last couple years, and now we're essentially asking him to put more, I think, on his back because I can't even tell you who the rest of the players are down there that are playing in their starting lineup now. And then you've got Bam, who's also like somewhat injury prone, a little bit older. So I don't think they're going to be contenders. I think they're going to have to go make another move. Again, I don't think they're going to be bad. And if Giannis stays healthy, I think they make the playoffs. But I don't think they're going to make a run for a title. No.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm kind of with you. I mean, I think I could see Bam and Giannis working out. Bam the last
Okay.
couple of years has really been improving his 3-point game. So him being able
Okay.
to space the floor a little bit will help. But yeah, the two of them on offense, I mean, they're both good players, obviously, but it does just feel a little clunky in my head, like you were kind of saying.
Sure.
Um, but but yeah, if Bam's able to be a little bit more of a floor spacer, I mean, we saw how well like Brooke Lopez and Giannis could be on the floor together.
Yeah. Sure.
So
True. Yeah.
so there's potential there. And then I think of defensively, that's two of the best and most versatile defenders. Both those guys can guard 1 through
Defensively. Yeah.
5
Yep.
and
Mm-hmm.
block a ton of shots.
Sure.
So it should be a tough team to score on just with those two, and I'm sure Spoelstra will get creative in how he uses those two on defense to really just make it a nightmare for the opposing teams trying to score. So um I think I think they'll be a good team. But yeah, I don't know. I can't put them straight into like title contenders as of right
Right.
now. All right. Anything else Bucks related on your mind that we didn't get to?
No, I think we covered it all. Been a busy,
All
busy
right.
couple days, but I think we
Yeah.
got it all.
Yeah. Um Other NBA news, breaking news as of today, I think it was LaMelo Ball did get traded to the Timberwolves for Nas
Yes.
Reed and a bunch of picks, I think. So um him and Anthony Edwards will be a quite the backcourt. So should
It'll
be
be a
fun
pretty
to
good
see.
backcourt. Nas Reed was a good player. I mean,
Yeah.
that's a good pickup for Charlotte. I think Minnesota will miss him at some for some in some ways. But yeah, that is a heck of a backcourt with Anthony Edwards and LaMelo.
But yeah, so I know like you kind of mentioned Nas Reed is a nice piece for the Hornets, but I don't know if I love this trade for them. I I just it felt like they're a team that was, they got some youth they were building, got a lot of momentum at the end of last season. With this core that they had, their offense was fun, and they didn't quite make it through the play-in or whatever, but there's a lot of promise there, and it felt like they were heading in the right direction and building around the Mellow Ball, and then they trade him away and kind of reset themselves, and now you kind of wonder what's their identity going to be for this upcoming season and going forward, and are they going to keep building off of what they were doing, or is this going to set them back? Kind of feel like it's got to set them back to some degree.
It's got to set them back a little bit. I agree with that. I don't think, Nas Reed's a nice piece for them. I don't think it was the right trade. I don't think they by any means won this trade. Um, I agree with that. It felt kind of an odd thing that they were shopping him around because they did, they were like not great for several years, the Hornets, and all of a sudden now they started to, you're right, build around him and get a couple other pieces there. And then all of a sudden they traded him away. And so I'm not 100% sure either what was going on there. And I agree that it should set them back. So, well, yeah, we'll have to see what that looks like. But
Yeah, it kind of feels like, obviously, not to compare it to the Luka Doncic trade, but it kind of feels like either the GM or someone high up in their organization kind of was just like, long term, this isn't the guy we want to build around. Like he's not going to be the one that brings us a championship. So they tried to pivot early on to something else. But
Yeah.
yeah, I don't know. I would have tried to keep going off what they were doing because they were a fun team. But
Fun team, and it was working for a while. I mean, for a
yeah,
while last season, it was like, wow, this team's like really good. They're playing really well, and they couldn't get out of the play-in, but they had some momentum.
for a little while, like maybe 3/4 of the way through the season, they were up to like 5 or 6 seed, and
Yeah,
then them and a couple of teams just kind of both fell back into the play-in, and then they didn't make it
yeah.
out of it. But yeah, so I went in on that move, but it'll be the Timberwolves should be fun basketball to watch it at the very
Yeah.
least. So all right, that probably covers it for NBA topics, and then the other thing going on in the world, the biggest thing going on in the world, the World Cup. And how about those good old USA men's soccer team winning their group? They are actually, as of recording this, about to start their third game of the group stage in about 15 minutes, but they already got the group clinched. Um, really just kind of have been impressive, and everyone's kind of buzzing about them and like, wow, they're actually, the rumor was, or the expectations was that they were in a weak group and they should at least make it to the group stage or the knockout stage, if not win their group. But to see them come out dominant like they have been 4-1
They're
and
playing
2-0,
well. They're playing,
and
yeah,
they
they're
just look
playing
good.
very well. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
a lot of excitement, I guess. Then I hear other experts talking like everyone's all excited about the US. Okay, their group sucks, and like wait till they get to the knockout stage. If they have any chance of winning this World Cup, they're gonna have to play their best 4 games in their history in a row. So a lot of the experts aren't convinced yet about them actually making a run in the knockout stage. But I always say if a single elimination tournament, you never know what's gonna happen.
That's
And
right.
they're hot right now. Hopefully, I don't know how they're gonna strategize this kind of meaningless third game in the group if they're gonna,
Yeah.
rest some of the best players or what they're gonna do there. Hopefully, whatever they choose to do doesn't throw off their momentum. Whether they start their
Right.
players, hopefully they don't burn them out, and if they rest some guys, hopefully they don't kind of lose or have like a 0-0 draw that kind of kills their momentum right now. So
The nice thing about that game also, or the game tonight also, is Turkey also is not playing for anything. So neither team
yeah,
is like playing for anything here. So yeah, I mean, I don't, it's kind of everybody out there kind of for funsies. So it's just kind of like trot them out there because we have to. But
yeah,
yeah, I'm impressed. I'm impressed with how they've been playing. I don't know much about soccer in general as far as what teams are really good, what teams are really bad, things like that. I like we talked about last time. I knew we were in a weak group. And so yeah, after the first game, I was like, oh, well, maybe it's because we're in a weak group, and then shut out in game two. My concern with them so far, watching again, just kind of as a casual fan, has been they've started out really well in games, and then they've kind of like the offense has puttered away and disappeared in the second half, typically. So I think that's going to have to change in the knockout stage, especially. They're going to have to keep their foot on the gas, and goals are going to matter. They're going to have to score a lot of them, or defensively play. Continue to play well. I shouldn't say they're not playing well. Defensively, they're playing well. I think it's just a matter of they're going to have to play better defensively because they're going to be playing better teams. So that's kind of where I'm at.
yeah. And I know coming into the tournament, kind of the talk was their defense was a bit leaky, and
Mm,
I mean, they've only allowed 1 goal through 2 games, which is pretty good.
right.
But I will say the 1 goal they gave up to Panama was kind of one of those just like silly mistake. Like it took them 2 passes and all of a sudden they were behind our defense and easy
Right.
goal. So
Yeah.
when you get in the knockout rounds, you can't really afford to be doing that. So the shutout against Australia was encouraging, and hopefully they can put another 0 up there today to kind of have some
And
confidence in the defense going into the knockout.
Australia had some chances. I mean, they were playing fairly well. They were in the zone fairly well, and I think defensively they did stand strong. So it was encouraging to see a little bit stronger of a defensive performance against Australia, who I thought would be a better opponent for us than who do we play first? Panama,
Paraguay,
or
or
Paraguay.
Panama.
Yeah, you're right. No, Paraguay. You're right. Better than Paraguay. So, I mean, it was an encouraging performance, game 2. So we'll see how tonight goes, and flip that on and see if they're playing the way that they are, playing like they have something to play for or not. And we've got the game. Our first knockout game is next Wednesday at 7:00. So tune in for that.
Yeah, and I saw it'll be against one of the other pools is 3 seed. It looks like after a result from yesterday that it's most likely going to be Bosnia. But that is still subject to change if some weird results come in through the rest of the
it's like a
third round of games.
97. Yeah, it's like a 97% chance we're playing them. So I think that's what we're preparing for. But yes, there are still slight chance that it changes.
I saw it too. There's a chance that in the round of 16 that we would be playing Iran. So that would be
Oh boy.
quite the conflict on the pitch out there if that comes to fruition. Well, we'll see about that.
We'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. But yeah, I guess other World Cup thoughts. I want to formally apologize to our viewers out there. I feel like last podcast I was a little harsh on the game of soccer. I was coming off of freshly watching like the first match of the World Cup. It was Mexico was up 2-0 and the other team had 2 red cards and Mexico was just doing nothing the entire time. And it was boring. I've been watching some more games. It is not as boring as I was talking about it to be. It has been, whenever I flipped it on, it's been pretty entertaining and like I get into it, So yeah, gotta take it back. I gave a little too much hate. It's been fun to watch.
I tell people that I'm a huge soccer fan for about 6 weeks every 4 years. 3 weeks for the men's World Cup and 3 weeks for the women's World Cup. So yes, I'm enjoying my time as a soccer fan, and we'll continue to enjoy it through the rest of the tournament. I'm looking forward to the knockout stages. Let's get into it. It feels like it's about time to get into it. So
yeah, I will say I think I made a comment last podcast saying like it's just not as entertaining as like playoff hockey. And I think I stand by that. Playoff hockey is just more action-packed and, for me, more fun to watch. But I will say, once we get to the knockout rounds, there's something about single elimination.
No
atmosphere,
no ties.
Just the vibes. It takes it to a whole nother level. So I'm excited
it does.
watch some of that. And hopefully it'll be... I mean, it's been a great World Cup so far. Just a lot of entertaining games. Hopefully it keeps up through the knockout. And just my other note is just that the stars have been shining. I'm not a soccer fan, so I don't know a whole lot about it, but I do know like 10 names of the best soccer players in the world, and
they're all scoring goals.
All those names are scoring goals
multiple times a game. Yes, yep.
Messi is going crazy. Ronaldo had a couple goals in their second game. Mbappe has been Mbappe, and Haaland too. I mean, it's fun. I mean,
yeah.
As obviously I'm a USA fan, but like from the outside soccer world, being a neutral fan, like, yeah, I just want to go see the best players like do cool stuff and score goals.
Yeah.
So they're doing it and they're putting on a show. So hats off to them. And yeah, it's fun stuff.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then before we wrap it up, we got another game for you guys today. I would like to claim myself as being 2-0. I don't know if that's confirmed.
I will say
checked the comments.
Some people are saying that you won the last one, so whatever, we'll see. I've got to get on the board here.
So today we're doing kind of the inverse of what we did last time. We're making a NFL starting lineup out of non-football players. I think we'll do, correct me if you got anything else planned, but a quarterback, a running back, 2 receivers, and a tight end. Is that what you were thinking?
Perfect.
Okay.
Perfect.
All right. And I'll say you can go first, and we can kind of go in any order, regardless of position or
Position.
whatever
Okay.
you want to do. So, fire
Oh
away.
boy. Oh
Who's your number
boy. Oh
one
boy.
overall
Oh
pick
boy.
here?
My number one overall pick. I'm gonna go at my wide receiver.
All right.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Edwards.
No way. He was my
I
number one
am.
wide receiver pick.
Was he?
Oh,
Love
that's
it.
brutal.
Oh yes.
That's
Picked
a
him
good
off.
pick.
There you go. That's a great pick. I like it.
Mm.
I like it. Just pure athleticism. That's what you need at wide receiver. Pure
Yeah.
pure athleticism.
Yep. I'm with you there. Oh, tough scenes. All right. Well, since you got your wide receiver one out of the way here, I guess I'll go somewhere else. Um, I think we got to go quarterback. I mean, it's the most important position on the field. And I'm going to go with, at my quarterback, I got Aaron Judge. We've got an
Oh.
absolute cannon of an arm. We've got a dude that's 6'7", jacked. I mean, we basically got a better version of Josh Allen running our team from the quarterback position. You don't want to see him running downhill with the ball on a keeper. And man, he can sling the rock 70, 80 yards. I have no doubt.
That's a good pick. I had not considered Aaron Judge. Wow.
Thank you.
Good pick. Good pick. He's not. I have a list of 3 potential quarterbacks here. I only need one, and Aaron Judge was not on the list. So I will. Good for you. Wow.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. I'm gonna go with my running back, and I'm gonna go back to a tried and true member on one of my teams. I'm going with Usain Bolt again. And here's why. Here's why. The argument you all made, both you and some of the fans, said that Usain Bolt all he can do is just like run straight. How can he be in the NBA, right? And whatnot. All I need this guy to do at running back is run straight. All I need to do is run straight. Run straight as fast as you can with the football. So it's my running back.
All right. I mean, that's a solid pick. I think, gosh, I got too many guys down. I want all these guys that I have on my list, but I can't. I'm gonna go. Yeah, I'm gonna take one of my wide receivers here. Coming off our last topic, this is pretty fitting. I'm gonna go with Kylian Mbappe at my wide receiver.
Ooh.
He's got all the athleticism you could want. He's got the top end speed, and man, that footwork is gonna translate to some crazy routes out there. So if he can catch the ball, I'm banking on him being able to catch. We don't know this, but if he can catch the ball, he's gonna be an elite wide receiver.
I like it. I like it. All right, I'll go get my second receiver.
I'm gonna be pissed if you steal my other guy on my list.
I'm gonna take Steph Curry.
Oh,
Is that who you had? No, okay.
Nope,
Steph
nope.
Curry. Here's why I want Steph Curry.
Mm.
I think he'd be a good playmaker out there. And also from like a receiver, you want a guy that's just got some pop to him, and Steph Curry's got pop.
All right. I don't know, man. I think you might be selling right there. I don't know if that's the move at wide receiver.
No.
I don't know.
Oh no. Here's my thought process too: is my Steph Curry, he's gonna be my guy in the slot also.
Yeah, and you know, now I think about it, like he's pretty shifty. You know, he's sneaky.
Yeah,
He's gonna have some
shifty.
good. He could be a JSN comp at the slot or
Yes.
something like that. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. That's fair.
Okay, all right.
All right. I guess. I'm gonna go. I guess I'm gonna go with my other wide receiver. I feel really confident that this guy is just gonna be unguardable. He's basically a better version of Megatron. Give me Giannis Antetokounmpo at my wide receiver too. Good luck.
Interesting.
Good luck.
Interesting.
We get in the red zone. We're just running 4 fades, and he's catching one of them at the very least, or getting pass interference called every time.
I'll let you know, because since you drafted him, I obviously can't take him. He actually was on my list at the tight end spot. He was on my list, so I'll cross him off there. He was on my tight end spot list. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, now I feel like I have to go get my tight end because, one of mine is gone now. So, who am I putting up against? I was gonna have Giannis there. I'm gonna go another big guy, obviously. I'm gonna go Zion Williamson at my tight end.
Dang it. He was on my list too. Shoot. Yeah, that's a good pick. Oh, you're stealing my guys today. All right. I think at tight end you just have to go basketball player. It's just a pretty obvious move. I didn't go Giannis at tight end just because I felt like he was a little too thin framed. So that's where I was thinking Zion would have been nice. But right along those lines, I mean I kind of want to go LeBron, but he's just a little too old, too washed. So we are going with Aaron Gordon at the tight end position.
Ooh, good one. Aaron Gordon.
Thank you.
That is a good pick. All right, I'm just down to my quarterback. I want you to know that I'm not going to take him. I'm going to take somebody else, but I did have LeBron actually in consideration at my quarterback spot. I did have him considered there. But I'm gonna go similar. My mindset on this is gonna be going kind of Patrick Mahomes got similar charisma, got similar skills. It feels like able to move around and run the ball, and also similar to Patrick Mahomes, I think can manage the game really well. This guy manages the court in my opinion too. Kind of a front runner, but Tyrese Halliburton.
All right, Tyrese. I did not see that one coming. All right.
Okay.
All right. So then for my last pick, I saved this one. It's a doozy of a pick for my running back. You'll have to let me know, or maybe in the comments, people have to let me know if it's a legal choice.
Oh boy. Oh man, we're gonna walk the line here.
At my running back position, I am taking Golden Tempo, the Kentucky Derby winning horse.
That cannot be legal.
We're gonna train him to hold the ball in his mouth, and he is scoring a touchdown every time he touches the ball.
That's got to be a disqualification. My team automatically wins. That can't be. Oh.
Can I make a backup pick if the fans decide he's not allowed?
Yep. Please do.
Right. If I can't have a horse at my running back, I will go with a human. I am going to go with who I think when I see him play his sport, he feels like, to me, he looks like Barry Sanders out there. He's just makes everyone else around him look unathletic and silly. I'm taking Connor McDavid at my running back.
Ooh,
hopping out of the skates, getting into the cleats, and he's just going to make everyone look slow. And if you catch up to him, he's going to make you miss. So, again, if I can't have a horse at my running back,
you can't. I promise you can't. No horses allowed. It's funny it's funny that you did that, because I was thinking of some, and as my tight end, I was like, oh, I could go with Thor, and I'm like, you know what? I better not. I better keep to people. But apparently, you went horses. So
he's an athlete. He's
you're right. That's actually, you know what? That's fair. I'll give you that. He is an athlete.
All right, so give us the rundown of your lineup.
All right, my lineup at quarterback: Tyrese Halliburton, running back Usain Bolt, wide receiver Steph Curry, wide receiver Anthony Edwards, and Zion Williamson at tight end.
All right, yep. And then my team: quarterback Aaron Judge, running back Connor McDavid, or Golden Tempo. Let us know in the comments if I can let that one slide.
Feels unlikely.
Wide receiver Kylian Mbappe. My other wide receiver is Giannis Antetokounmpo, and my tight end is Aaron Gordon.
I think I beat you out this time. I'm just
feeling
saying.
pretty good. I feel pretty good. We'll have to see
We'll
We'll have
see
to-
what the people say.
Yeah, let us know in the comments. Reach out to us personally to let us know how good we did, and if there's any, players we completely slept on. And let us know if Golden Temple we can suit them up on the football field, because I mean, last time my self criticism was I wasn't out of the box enough, so I really
Oh,
didn't
you
wanna,
went.
I wanted to get creative
as
today.
far out of the
so-
box as possible.
So, all right. That's all we got for today. It was
Yeah.
a fun episode, and yeah, we will be back in a couple weeks. And yeah, until then, just let us know who won this competition, and yeah, we'll see you guys in the next episode.